Thanks a lot, Mitch, and thank you all for being here. And I certainly do understand the value of a college education. I paid for one daughter to go through the University of Michigan and one daughter to go through Kalamazoo College. So believe me, I know what it costs to get a higher education in this state. And I was very excited when we made a significant policy choice and a budget choice a couple years ago to implement the Michigan Promise Grant scholarships to help ease the burden that all of you face as you try to get the education and learn the skills that you'll need for a way to fit into the 21st century economy here, the new global economy. But I started thinking about the Promise Grant and some of the remarks I've been making on the floor of the Senate, and I went back to the Merriam-Webster dictionary just to find out if I was misstating what a promise actually is. So I'd just like to read one of the definitions for a promise. And one, a declaration that will do or refrain from doing something specified. Or B, a legally binding declaration that gives the person to whom it is made a right to expect or claim the performance or forbearance of a specified act. I believe when we made the significant policy choice to structure the Promise Grants, that was something that was binding on us in the legislature and here in state government. It was a promise made to nearly 100,000 young people as they did well on their standardized testing, when they worked hard to maintain their grade point average, and they looked forward to that expected reward for their hard work, the money that we had promised them to help them gain that education. Back in April, the House sent House Bill 4441, the higher education budget, over to the Senate. And in that budget, it contained the revenues necessary to fund the Promise Grants. It contained the money necessary to fund need-based scholarships across the board. What happened subsequently was it came into the possession of the Senate majority, the Republicans, and they decided that a promise is not really a promise. It's not a promise grant. It's a we'll give you the money someday down the road if we actually have any money grant. And I don't think that's good enough for the people that are standing here today or the people that you represent at the universities and colleges across Michigan. We've been fighting ever since to restore that money. We've come up with ways to fund these scholarships. We've come up with innovative revenue streams that will help us keep our promise to Michigan's young people, that those of you that are working so hard to get the education necessary to work into this new economy that's coming. I think it's unconscionable that they would strip $140 million that was promised, that will decimate our college campuses. It not only affects the students, it affects the universities and their budgets as well, because they're counting on you to have the money from us to pay your tuition bill, to pay the costs that ever increase as you move through your college career. So I'm just proud that these legislators that are standing here with me and dozens and dozens of additional legislators are going to stick with us here. We have just about a week and a day left before we have to pass a state budget. I pledge to you every one of our undying efforts to make sure that that money gets put back in the budget, that we maintain the promise that we made to you young people, and that we really do mean what we say when we speak here in the Capitol building. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for taking on the chore of getting an education. You're the future of Michigan. You're the people that are going to start the businesses and do the entrepreneurship and do the work that's going to make Michigan's economy rebound. So when my grandchildren, a little 2-year-old and 8-month-old, get into the economy, it's going to be ripping and roaring, and they'll have a place to work here in Michigan thanks to the work that you're doing here today. So thanks for being here today. Thanks for all the work that you do on campus.